Hi guys, this is my deck build, and I try to explain it. You know, I'm not good at English, but I will try my best to explain it. Why I came to a conclusion for this deck to work. First of all, I use three of this unit and three of this unit because I need space for this unit to work. So I need space for this unit to work, right? And most people say, why do you run this? I will explain it later. Why do I run this? So I would say, how do I build this deck? Like, how do I build this deck? Uh, like, what's my strategy of this deck, though, right? I would say the main point of this deck is never stop personal writing, personal personal writing. Never stop personal writing. Do this too, Never stop personal writing. At the same time, that's the one of the main point, and then second main point would be early games. So I would say why like I actually you know I pri- prioritize personal writing, of course. And secondly, throughout the whole consistency, the whole deck of the consistency, I would rate this deck. The consistency of this deck would be 4 point. I would say 3.7. It's just the fact I put five level 3 in size. That's why I lose some of the consistency. When top 5 you might able to search this 5 unit around here, but yeah, that that is a way of losing some of the consistency, right? But it's fine. I think it's fine losing a little bit of consistency just for more power spike on mid to late game. uh I see most of the deck, don't know, those people build, I mean, they build throughout more consistency, more draws, more or something like that. But in fact, that at the end of the day, like when I try to think of their deck, it's like thinking on, some of the deck they put three unit of this, but they don't put this, and then some people put this, but they don't put this unit, which is yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean they have their point, but my point is that these two units are actually really important because I tested out by myself, and most of the time you're only able to use one counterblast one turn. But sometimes you're able to, like, sometimes you don't have enough shields in your hand, or maybe you want to take damage to able to survive one more turn, or to survive two more turns. Now you have way more damage, and then you're only able to use one counterblast, right? You're only able to use one counterblast, which is you're wasting a lot of counters. You're wasting a lot of resource, right? You're losing a lot of resource to do something else with those counterblasts that you're taking so much damage. For example, you have 4 damage, right? You're taking so many, you have 4 damage, and then 4 face up. You know, you're losing a lot of those values. That's why I came to the conclusion that I need to put like at least 2 of this. And then most people say, why don't you put 3? I think 3 is too much. 3 to 4, I think is too much because you can only use once, and that's it. Because I don't have counter charge over here, right? You don't have counter charge over here, and also the counter charge, the level 1 counter charge would use Soul Blast, but I don't want that Soul Blast 2. That Soul Blast 2 I can use for this one, for this unit, to Soul Blast and then get this unit up to hand, because at most point you have to considering of not, you cannot stop uh, personal writing. If you stop, you will lose. You will probably 80% of the time you will lose. So that's why so most of the time are able to use for this. But sometimes if you have so many grade threes, right, in your hands, you're able to soul charge this, get one of the card. That's one of the strategy, right? This one can get a trigger out. This one soul charge, a grade 0, and then you soul blast grade 0, and then you get another grade 0 or something like that. Yeah, at most of the point you want to use this 2 unit, soul blast for this 2 unit, to put into your hand to never stop personal writing. Next, I will come this 3. I think it's 3 is enough. I think 3 is enough. Why? Because for this 2 to happen, you need to draw to hand, right? I think I think it's enough. Like, you have to draw to hand, but you have a lot of draw powers. First of all, you got this. You can check top 1. You have to put a top, put a rest, and then you have personal right. There's 1 draw powers. Like each card over here is a personal right, so you're getting a lot of draw powers. So draw powers from these 2. Draw power from this one. Draw power from draw triggers. That's why I put draw triggers, because I put so many grade 3s, and I would say, like, I will value draw triggers a lot. I will talk about it later. How does it work? Most people will run 3 crit, 3 more crit, and ignore the draw triggers. I think I don't want to say this, but I think that's a dumb idea, right? I mean, it depends on. I think that's a dumb idea. I think draw triggers still has so much value. I will talk about later. I will talk one card by one card. So first, this one. Why use this one? Because every turn you're gonna restand. So 2 of this unit you're gonna restand, right? And this works on the Rega too. Work on the side too. For example, if second write this, and then you write this. No, you don't write this. You just put on the back, right? So it's 26. And then because you're personal right, you're gonna be 36. 36 hits 13. Right? That's how many shields. That's 25 shields. But here's the thing, though, because you have this one, right? You have this one to soul charge in, which is 38, which is 2 attack with 38, and then at the same time you will use this. For example, if you are at 3 HP, you have 3 counter blasts left, right? Or maybe at 4 HP, you have 3 counter blasts left. You can use this counter blast to get the full potential power of this play. So this card, this card, this card, and this card, you can get a lot of power spike. 5 drive checks. First time it's gonna be 3 drive check, and then 2 drive check. This 4 unit, you're getting a lot of values. And because you're able to soul charge this unit in, right? Next turn, and then on that turn, you're able to soul charge. If you have so many grade 3s, right? I mean, this is a lot of big brain stuff in. So it's a lot of plays. So then if you have this card in your hand, and then you call to the R, and then you're able to soul charge this unit, and you check the top 3, and then this unit is choose up, so you can ignore the call, the calling skill, calling to R skill. So you just shuffle your deck, and then this attack, soul blast grade 0, soul blast this out, and then get this in, or you get this out, you get this in, and then use for next turn, right? Or if you want more shields, then you want this out, this in. is this is the same. Yeah, this is one of the play you can do in uh yeah in deck. Yeah, this is one of the play you can do in the deck, and also this one, right? For example, if they are overlord, you can soul charge this in and then call this. Of course, that will be next turn, right? This will be next turn, but you can decide whether you next turn or this turn, right? You have to decide. This deck it has a lot of thinking. It's not a brain deck. You have to settle for the next turn, because next turn is gonna be this, and then this is gonna be this. So you gotta think a lot. It's not gonna think a lot, but you have to ready for the next turn. Next is 4 copy. And most people say, why 4 copy of this as except this one, like why value 4 of this than this? It's very simple. This is a free card. This is our early card, and this is a guarantee plus. This is a guarantee plus. You need it as soon as possible, right? But not this. You need this when this in your hand. So it has condition. This unit has condition for this, right? So early game, even though you have this, but you don't have this, you're losing values. But this, you always gain values. You always gain value. Because why? Because each time when you write 3s, it just came out. It just came out. Right? So that's why I value 4 of this than 4 of this. And most people they want 4 of this. I won't say most people have some deck list that I check in the website. They run like 2 of this, 1 of this. I mean, that's dumb, man. The EVA unit, there's a one experience successful. They bind stuff. If they bind this shit, it's done, bro. Right? You only have 1 copy in the early game. If they bind it, of course, the buying skill has condition, but if they do bind it, you're gonna lose 1 card forever. So I still want this card as at least 2 of this card as soon as possible in the early game. This will help out a lot, because sometimes if you don't have this, because this unit is top 5, this is not guaranteed getting this out. So if you have this, at least 2 copies, you're safe. Basically, you're safe of not getting break on personal writing. Next, I will choose. Next is this. Why I choose this? This is, I would say, it's not really good. This only works at mid game, which is the second personal writing. This mostly only work on a second personal writing. So if you want to get full value of her, basically you want this, right? And also this one can become a shield for this unit, right? Because she can defend for this unit because of her skill, right? Because of her skill, you can target all the different name other than her, right? So if you want to retire or do some shit about do something, retire and stop, you gotta choose her first. So you have the defenses. And why this is good? Because this combo with this. So when you personal write, it's gonna be 25 plus 13 equal 38. That means 25k shields. 25k shields, that means 2 15k shields out of the opponent's hand, which is really crazy. And then you combo with this, you get to withstand. It's 38 and 38 again, which is huge. This is huge. That's why I played this a 2 copy, because most of the time you only use this when you person writing with this, right? Because you're able to stand regards. You're able to stand regards, you use this. Most of the time you don't want to use this. I mean, if you have more copies, yes. Right? If you have extra copy, yes, you can use it on this turn. One copy, sure. And most people say like, I see some of the people, they run Blastador right chain, right deck. Blastador right chain right deck. I don't know how to say it, but I would still think this right chain is way better. This right deck is way more better. Just the fact because of this one. Because of this girl. Why? This unit, when you write by this, right, you're able to review the top deck. If it's 2 or less, you can call to RC, right? You may call to RC. If not, you put the reveal card on top of the deck. But what happened is, if you check the triggers, right? Triggers. If it's not even a triggers, you can call out, and then the next card high probability of getting triggers. Because of this, you're able to use this. So because of this, you're right, and then on your level 2 turn, and then you're able to use this. Because if it crit triggers, if you use this, early game, nobody gonna put on the front row, right? Especially when you're going second. Right? You have those pressures. So even when you have going second, you still have pressure because of this card, right? If you get trigger 28, bros, that's like what 20 k shields. There is no 20k shield around here. 15k on level 3s. There's no 20k shields. So basically guarantee hit. If you get a crit, you guarantee hit. Right. Also, this is 4 copy, no question about it. 4 copy, insane card. Help out early game rush, and help out a lot of situations. This one with this one combo is so comfortable. For PGs, of course, this one, I like the big booties. This one, I mean, in set 5, there's gonna be a lot of Overlords players. There's also gonna be a lot of big booties players. There's gonna be a lot of withstand players, I mean, the triggers depends on you. I don't say why 3 draw triggers. Most people want to run crit and stand, and that's it. I'm sure you can do that, but I still want this, because like if you early game, if you take damage, if you get one of this card out, if you try to get one of this card out, you have a lead in your early game. Basically, you have a lead in your early game. When you have a lead in your early game, you have a lead in your entire game. And also because of these draw triggers, you're able to draw. It means another draw powers, right? So you're able to draw this or more regards, whatever stuff you might want to have. Because at the end of the day, this unit is top 5. This is not the entire deck. This is only top 5. This is only top 5. So also I prioritize this because of early game. If you get that lead, that small lead, you have that lead to win. You have your game will be so much easier. You have more, and also if you hit the triggers, you have more regular attack in early games, right? You get that, you get those health advantage out of them. So when you persona ride with this, you get a pressure, because if they're HP 4, then you use this, and then use this 38, bro. 38, bro. You either PG or either like 3 cars. That's it. Either PGs or 3 cars, right? And with this, you got a PGs. And when we heard you got a PGs, and most people say, why don't you run the other one? I don't run the other one because all my front row, just simple as that, is that all my front row is grade 2. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. For example, it's like my size is 28, right? One drive chain is gonna be 38. So what's the point of 38? And it's only one drive chain. It's not even 2 drive chains, because it's level 2. All my front row is gonna be level 2. It's not gonna be level 3, right? I don't get those twin drive, you know. So I decided to go with this, because this is basically another crit, right? So this is basically another crit, and also it's pretty easier for me to prop this too, because this deck has, you know, drive checks with this, and then this thin deck, you know, pretty high. The chances is pretty high. I mean, I run this because it's basically guaranteed crit. I get another million, right? So I attack with this. If I get million, I put on the side and attack. So they got PG 3 times basically. They got PG 3 times basically. Around this, you have to combo, run. You have to 20k shields, buzz a 4 heal. Yes. I think that's it. I think that's it for this deck list. So for the conclusion, this deck list is built around early game, mid game, and late game. Now mid to late game is probably the same power spike. But I would say the weakest part about this deck is about you know, when you're on, you know, the first time you ride this, that's the weakest part. Because if you go in second, this is the weakest part. If you go in second, this go for like if you go in second and then you ride this, and then what you gonna call 13k base, you don't have booster. And also, why would I prioritize these level ones? Because if you don't have booster, you can't hit them. You can hit shit, right? Even with this, you have to persona ride to get to 5k. That's why I put 2 units of this. If you go in second, basically, your next turn is gonna go to 4, right? If you're going to 4, then this one, it will help you to get those heal triggers, to get the over triggers, to get those whatever pressure going in, right? And also because if you go in second, because the great deterrent is actually pretty weak, right? This unit, it will help out you a lot in early game, right? Especially this one, right? And also on the first persona ride, this unit able to help you too, right? On your first persona ride, this one is gonna help you, because you're able to tie the column, and then this one plus 10k, and then because of persona ride, you get 28k, and then you can save up, you know, your resource for the next turn, for the next persona ride. So this deck has a lot of playstyle. This deck is different thing. The most common playstyle is gonna be like, first time you're gonna do this, write this, call unit, and prepare for the next one. You know, draw whatever you want, and hit whatever you want, and then this one, when after you write this, you got this to your hand. Maybe you got this in your hand. If you have this in your hand, it's gonna be so much better. you got this in your hand, and then you got this in your hand, and then you use it, 38, attack, 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 right? But if you have this in your hand, you can maybe release some of the HP, but because of you going first, that means your opponent health is gonna be in your first right, in your first personal right is gonna be they gonna be like, because you're going first, right? They're gonna be like 3 HP at most of the time. They're gonna be at 3 HP after because you're going first, right? They probably gonna at 3 HP. And then you do this, and you do this, and you do this, and you attack. But if they are like lower than, I mean, it's very situational if you want to use this or not. It depends on your hands. Yeah, I think that's it. Like, I think that's it. There's nothing I can talk about. First riders, prepare for this one, and then this one, prepare if you have this card in your hand, right? Prepare for this one. You use this one and this one, you know, you swing, you swing 36, that's high numbers, you know, swing on size, you know, and then you got this one, right? Because you got this one and you got this one, 28, you might get triggers or so, and then you guard, and then you guard the opening turns, and then you use it, and then ride again, write this again, you know, draw a card, you know, skill, get whatever you have, you know, and then you use this, and then use this, you know, 38, really insane. Even though you don't have this, even though you don't have this, no, not this. Even though you have the any boosters, even though you don't have this on the side with this, you can use this, you know, as a booster. The good thing about this card is like you can use that booster, you can use that attacker. That's the main point of this card, right? You know, and also this card can protect this card, which is really valuable. This deck, I think this deck is very, I would say it's weaker than those level 4 deck, level 4 deck. But I would say because, but I would say like you still have a chance, because this deck right here, I think you still have a chance. You still have a chance. I would say this is the best deck build that I have right now. Yeah. And then that's it. Thank you for watching.